Hello, this is H.G. Bailey, and welcome back to Let's Play SimCity! Let's finish developing the donut at the center of Chicago. Someone was asking me, H.G. Bailey, why not put the two residential zones on the opposite side of the donut there to get them started as well? And the problem with that right now is that because there's no more zones along this side of the donut, they wouldn't develop past level 1. They'd get like the 8 buildings there and then that's it. They would just sit there indefinitely. We need to increase the population density in order to get those to develop. I could just build them all at once, but I need to save up 16 grand anyway, so I might as well do this little by little so I don't have to spend money on destroying and replacing rails and everything like that. I want to get this one done, then I can get the other two, and then I can get the last one there and avoid improper R-tops. I suppose I could have done these two and then these two if I wanted, but I'd end up in the same boat anyway. I'd need to wait for 2 of them to get done in order to get the others. So, yeah, I just like doing it this way, I guess. But yeah, I want to wait until they get up to at least level 5, and then I can probably safely build the next residential zones without risking of merging with the original 2. That is, if we ever can get them up to level 5. Sometimes they just sit around there for a while. Let's see, how are we doing down here with all this? Okay, that's all set and ready to go as far as the last part of the donut chain goes. But yeah, I'm gonna need at least 16,000 in order to build enough rails to unlock the second train station. Yeah, let's slow down a bit to get the power distributed there. And then hopefully with what little population I get out of these residential zones, if I don't have enough population density to get that first R-top, I will soon enough before they get up to level 5. Okay, yeah, we gotta get rid of those. We don't need any more hospitals or schools for anything. Am I still... Okay, yeah, we're still on the lowest speed there. But yeah, if you build it this way, they'll develop just fine. Don't have to worry about improper merging. But I do have to worry about improper developing. So we'll just keep going like this for a little while, and I'll build a little bit as I go. That is, if I can ever stop getting hospitals and schools, that would make this process a lot faster. But I have no say in the matter. They just happen whenever the game decides they want them to happen there. It is taking a little longer than I would think for the first R-top to get going there. But let's wait and see if we get more hospitals and schools. How many is that? Take 4! Let's try again. Okay, there we go. Get that going, and then fast forward until we get even more money. Yeah, it's going to take a little while for all of those to develop the way that I want. I suppose in this case, it doesn't especially matter where my R-tops happen. As long as I get 4 of them out of the donut, that's really all that matters. It was this one where I really wanted that for valid destinations and things like that. But over here, I've got everything set up perfectly. So that's why I've got, like, the fire departments, police departments, gifts, all surrounding this donut there. So that way, we'll definitely be able to find a valid destination before it's too late. Although, I would like this R-top to form before it's too late. Now, eventually, I will want to build some more commercial zones, and these are the last ones that I'm going to be building. Hey, there we go. We got the R-top. Very nice. Let's see, I can still put police department over here, and there's some other places where I might want to put police departments. where it might help some more residential zones developing. Fortunately, I really don't need that many more commercial zones. I mean, once I get that other donut going, that's it. That's all that I'll need for quite some time. The thing is that, well, as you can see, there's only so much room for me to put commercial zones to isolate the residential zones from the industrial zones. So the only way I think I could, like, expand on the number of commercial zones is maybe I do, like, a double layered wall, but I would think that would be really difficult to do. So instead, I just go with the one layer, and I need to keep the zone balance between the residential and the industrial zones. I need to keep the demand balanced in order to be able to build both of them without ruining my zone demand balance. Okay, I think we can get one going over here now. And yeah, we're getting, about 2,000 per year, so not too horrible. But I think, hey, we got another C-top. Or R-top, sorry. I'm just so much more excited for the C-tops when they actually do happen. But, nope. Okay, we got that one going. Fast forward, once again. So, the thing is, on hard difficulty, you don't need nearly as many industrial zones as you do on previous difficulties. But the problem is that then I've got all this empty space in the corners here that I really can't do anything with. So another thought I had about developing more commercial zones is maybe instead of like creating like a double layer of commercial zones, maybe with the commercial zones that are not next to a gift, maybe sort of inflate the ring of commercial zones so that way I could fit more in there. But then the problem with that is that you're going to have residential zones that are going to be outside of the central radius of the city. You'd be really far away from that, and I would think residential zones would have a really hard time getting through all that. Although over here, they are inside that radius, so all I need to do is just build a police department here, and that'll take care of the land value reduction from the pollution by all the industrial zones there. That just happens in the corners. Well, I don't have many residential zones to show that, but we got some over here. Maybe up here I could put a couple police departments, maybe take the one and then build two staggered like that. Hey, there. Oh, well, we don't have the top yet, but we got the R4 at least. So now I can just take my time with this. I'm thinking if maybe I just want to build it now anyway. Yeah, why don't we do that? Get this one started, and maybe a little more population density will get the other one to develop. But yeah, even though we're not that far from the center of the city, probably somewhere around here, and we have the gift there, I can't just, build this one without the other two next to it. The population density won't let it work that way, no matter how close you're to the center of the city. Of course, if we get a hospital, that would make this take a lot longer. So let's keep on trying there. And not get a school or a hospital. 1 in 4 chance my ass. Okay, there you go. Okay, now we can get this going here. But yeah, I can't build any zones, residential or commercial, for this donut yet. Not until I get the other gift. Because even with a lot of... Hey, we got an R-top. But yeah, even with a lot of parks in the area, that just won't be enough. It's too far from the center of the city. I mean, it was hard enough getting these ones to actually happen. And we're kind of surrounded now by stuff that I can't just demolished because it's in the way of my C-top development. So, yeah, I really need the gift in order to get things moving here. I'm not in a rush to build a police department over here. I mean, I do want to do that and maybe get some more residential zones in the area, but yeah, I don't really need that, at least not right now anyway. I mean, look at all these residential zones that aren't right next to the gift there. They're developing just fine. Although it does kind of bother my OCD that I do have a few of these R4 high zones in the middle of all the upper or mid R4 zones there. I suppose I could, because I mean, they probably have the same land value by now, so I suppose I could probably just like demolish some of the rails and then let them lose a level in order to get them to the same zone class. Are we on the, yeah, we're on the fastest speed there. Probably going to take me 2 or 3 more years to get the money for all this. Now, I don't, when I actually do build the rails that I want, I don't want to build them like the ones that I'm actually going to be using long term, like right over here, like that. I don't want to do that because even after that, I'm still going to need to generate a significant amount of income to build more residential zones and industrial zones, and rails, well, and roads require a lot more money for the maintenance costs of them. So, I mean, roads would be cheaper, yes, but per unit of transit, doesn't matter rails or roads, it's all proportional there. You're still going to have to pay more for roads, just like I pay more for rails here, and I'd really rather not deal with the resulting pollution and the traffic. Yeah, I never really got into the traffic mechanics of the game. I just know build rails and that's it. Hey, we got the last R-top there. Very nice. But yeah, I know, like, there's valid destinations or something with how the game determines what traffic it's generating there. But, I mean, I'd have to really go into that. I don't think there's any really valid reason to use roads over rails. I mean, let's just say money was a big concern. I mean, I guess maybe if you were doing like a speed run that didn't use the money cheat, okay, maybe roads might be useful if you're trying to build a city as fast as possible so you don't need to spend as much. But even then, I mean, it's just the problems you got to deal with roads. I mean, I don't think it outweighs rails by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, why even bother? I might want to save up a little more than 16,000 to get what I want, but we'll see. I'm basically only going to build the rails in large open areas like this around here. I don't want to build them over the water because, well, just like with power lines, they cost twice as much to build on the water as on the land, but the maintenance costs are the same regardless of whether it's on land or in the water there. But still, I mean, I don't want to do that right now just because it costs so much. I'd have to save up a lot more money, and so yeah, I mean, that's basically why I don't want to build rails where I'm going to use them long term, because it's just going to cost so much money to maintain them, and without the tax revenue from more residential zones to pay for them, there's not really much of a point in doing that. And I'm not going to save up like 60 grand or however much money I need in order to build the remaining zones in the city. Let's get the rails done first, then I'll demolish them, and then I'll start building even more zones. Unfortunately, at this point, I really can't do very much without the train station. Okay, one more year, I think we'll be good. The problem is that, well, I don't have any place to put more commercial zones other than the donut there. But even with, like, residential zones or industrial zones there, I wouldn't want to build more right now. But eventually I will. For now, I want to kind of keep the center of the city further in this direction for now, because I might need a little bit of extra land value in order to finish up this donut, even with the gifts, because it's just so far from everything else. But I think we'll be fine. Yeah, let's not put the bulldozer right over the Mario statue. That could be bad. Yeah, unfortunately, when your city gets sufficiently large, yeah, it's just going to take longer, even on the fastest speed, to get things going. I wonder if removing the background music there would reduce the lag a little bit on that. Because I know there's some video games where I've seen where they intentionally try to sort of despawn the music to reduce lag, like Mega Man 3 or something like that. Holy cow, that game has a lot of lag. This one, well, it's got a little bit, but not so much lag, just that it takes longer for it to advance the same amount of time, or at least in in-game years, or however they want to go about it. And only one train for this entire city? I mean, I guess you don't want your trains to, I don't know, accidentally collide with each other. But I would think you would have, like, one on, like, this side of the rails and then another on this side or something. So you wouldn't have that problem. Or however that all works. Well, we'll get that second train station soon enough. So yeah, to figure out how much money you're going to need in order to unlock the train station, you need, or the second one anyway, you need 200 kilometers of rail. So subtract the amount of rails you already have from 200, and then multiply that by 20. That's about how much money you're going to need. Although that doesn't account for money that I would need to spend on, like, auto bulldozing, like over forest or something. Though you could just disable auto bulldozing if you wanted to avoid that. But I don't think that'll be necessary. I think we'll be fine. So now let's just fill in a lot of this space here. And yeah, I don't need time to advance at the moment. Okay, we could do it like this too. But yeah, even though I'm putting some of these rails in areas where I would eventually want to have them, I'm not gonna keep them around at the moment. I don't want to have to pay for even more maintenance on that. So just try to keep them in areas where you don't care about whatever is where you're going to build them. Let's see, we've got room for 2 more power plants in this quadrant. And then I think the only spaces I have left are in the northwest quadrant. So I'll eventually have to go up there to get more power whenever I need it. Let's see, I don't want to build rails over power lines, because, well, I'd have to rebuild the power lines once I demolish the rails and all that. But for now, this will be fine. You also want to be careful where you place these railroads, because of, like, valid destinations and things. Although it shouldn't take too long for this to all figure itself out. Okay, how are we doing there? Okay, yeah, we've still got quite a ways to go here. But yeah, even if I built all the rails long term that I'll ever need, it would still not be enough to unlock the second train station because of how efficient the grid is. Okay, why don't we take a look, see where we are with the rails there. Oh, there we go! That was sooner than I expected. Oh, okay. Well, I built 13 too many, but that's fine. When I was doing this in practice earlier, I didn't have it unlock, but without going, like, somewhere else. I was going to build some more rails. Maybe up here would be a better place, but this works. Okay, so now, before I build that, or any other zones for that matter, yeah, let's clear all of these rails so I don't have to pay back the loans. No, I don't have a loan. Let's see, with this one, yeah, why don't we go like this? Whoop! Careful, I don't want to demolish anything other than the rails, that is. Let's see, for this one, yeah, we can just get rid of all that. Or most of it, anyway. Yeah, unfortunately, I can't, like, do an auto-bulldoze thing to prevent me from accidentally destroying something. And it's part of the Bailey curse, I'm afraid. We're very good at destroying things, intentionally or not. Oh well. Especially if it's something important, too. Okay, we could do this column of rails. That works, too. So yeah, I think I'd have like 180, maybe 190 kilometers of rails for the entire city, including ones that I would put over water. And why don't we keep a little bit of rail at the end of these for the industrial zones whenever I decide to actually build industrial zones down there. At this point, it really doesn't matter that much where I build whatever industrial zones I've got. I don't really need to worry that much about the center of the city. Yeah, I must have just built a few extra ones that I didn't do earlier. I was expecting to be at like 198 or something in order to, yeah, so then I would know, okay, I'm just a little bit short, and then I can figure out exactly how many more I need. But, well, we made it all the same. Hooray! Okay, so we got all that out of the way. Now, let's put our train station to use. Let's see, right here. Yeah, that ought to be good. And then let's get all of these C-tops moving. No, let's see, I don't need to build any more industrial zones. But I might need to build more residential zones. Okay, so... Oh, I didn't mean to build all of those rails. Well, that's okay. It'll be fine. Yeah, I'll just go like this for now. Okay, so let's get these started first, and then I'll see what I need on residential zones. Okay, everything's all powered up. And then, let's see, how many... I want to wait for the game to update the total menu. Okay, so we're good on commercial and industrial zones. Okay, then, let's see, we got all those. Yeah, 317 residential ought to do for now. I'm also going to need to save up a bit of money to build another power plant. Eventually. So these are all the commercial zones that I'm going to have. 156, it's always going to stay that way for the remainder of building the city. So the only way that I can build more is to build both residential and industrial zones. And they'll kind of balance each other out as far as how that affects my income. I can build, I'll still make a little bit more money than I'll lose, because the residential zones I'll need a lot of, but the industrial zones will reduce the land value, which would reduce my taxes collected. But now let's fast forward until we get more of these commercial zones going. So yeah, the industrial zones, I have to build them, though, in order to maintain some semblance of, zone demand balance there. Because normally, I like my industrial zone levels to be equal to the commercial zone levels, but then I wouldn't be able to build any more industrial zones from here, because I can't build any more commercial zones. So, under normal circumstances, the ratio of residential zones to industrial zone levels is usually about 2.6 to 1. That usually generates 51% of my total zone levels being residential. But, since I'm going to have to build more of each of those and not commercial zones, I need to reduce that ratio in order to still maintain some amount of balance. So I usually like going down to 2.3 to 1 residential to industrial zone levels. And that seems to work at least for a while. Eventually, though, if you don't build more commercial zones, you will start losing demand on both residential and industrial, and yeah, there's nothing you can do about it. But hopefully I'll be able to get up to at least 600,000 before that becomes a problem. Can we finish the last donut chain in the city? Find out next time on Let's Play SimCity. This is H.G. Bailey signing off. Have a good day.